Good evening, everyone, from Kettering Ice Arena. Welcome to University of Dayton Flyer Club Hockey. My name is Kent Jacobs, and we got a number of people following us on our chat. Knows what's going on. This game was scheduled for 9:15. The high school game that was played before this was started at 5:30, and it ended around a little after 7. The Musketeers were here and the Flyer players were here, and the decision was made to go ahead and start this game early. And I was already here because I called the game for that high school, the high school game that played before this. So I was already here, but Jeff, our engineer, producer, camera operator, he wasn't scheduled to be here till 9 o'clock, so he had to hurry up and try to get in here. Obviously, we missed the first period, and it's very unfortunate that we did because it was a great period for the Flyers. I hate it when we had the chance for some nice memories. Hopefully, we'll have some the rest of the game. But a great period for the Flyers. Mark Piketty with 2 goals, and also Ted Stuber scoring, and also Spencer DeLeo scoring. 2 of those goals were power play goals. 1 goal scored by the Musketeers by Colin Mahalik. And so that's where we stand at the end of the first period, 4-1 in favor of the Dayton Flyers. I'll catch up on some of our messages. Patty Ployce says, "Thanks, Kent. Go Flyers! Watching from Park Ridge, Illinois. Let's go, Ployce, Gillespie, and Rutherford." We heard from Lynn Bates a couple times. Nice to hear from Lynn. Lynn said Bobby Bradley's grandpa from Rochester cheering from the stands. That's nice to hear. Well, thanks, Lynn, for letting us know. And elsewhere, let's see, who else do we got here? Corinne Piketty says, "Thanks, Kent, for the update. That's my boy." And Corinne, he scored after that. So a great period for Mark. And again, it makes me sad that we were unable to call those goals, but it is what it is. So, but at least we're up and going now. I got a message from Steve Bradley. "Thanks, Kent. Glad you're up and running." Thank you, Steve, very much. And hopefully the boys will continue to have a great game since we missed all the fun in the first period as they scored 4 times and lead at 4-1. But hopefully they'll keep pouring it on, these Muskies, and hopefully we'll have fun the rest of the night with plenty of goals by the Flyers. So when you guys go back and watch this game in the future, we'll have a lot of good memories from this one. So the Flyers in their Columbia blue, are also known as Chapel blue uniforms, which or sweaters, which I love that color. The red trunks, and the Xavier Musketeers are in their white sweaters tonight with the navy blue trim. You guys should stand back because we're starting to film now. Yeah, so we did that first period. Yeah. So again, going over the scoring, Mark Piketty 2 goals, and Ted Stuber 1, Spencer DeLeo 1. 2 of those were power play goals, and Colin Mahalik, the goal scorer for the Muskies. Okay. Our referees for tonight's game, Eric Schreiner and Jeremy Lee and Greg Sine. In net for the Musketeers at the other end is Kozlowski. That's Reed Kosowski. I'll get that right. Kozlowski. And for the Flyers is Jack Studnicka. Again, 4-1 Flyers. We're underway in the second period. Teams open the second period at full strength. So 5-on-5. Puck shot to center, and it's deflected into the Dayton end. To our left, back is Pichetti. Pichetti being shadowed there by Dylan Russo. Loose puck near wing boards. Muskie's trying to carry it out. They're unable to. Pichetti chips it back to the Xavier blue line. And these two teams played last night with the Musketeers winning 4-3 in a shootout down on the campus of Xavier University in Cincinnati, north of downtown Cincinnati. Back for the Flyers to play the puck is Gillespie. He's checked. Trying to kick it free right in front of the Dayton net. There's a shot on goal by Matt Rapini of the Xavier Musketeers. And Studnicka will smother that one up against his chest. Face off in the Dayton zone to our left. 16:42 left in the second period. Dayton in the light blue, leading at 4-1. Here's DeLeo the other way. He's checked before he could get a shot away at the side of the Muskie net. There's a shot in front, and it's deflected away. Here come the Musketeers the other way. Pereira shoots it off the end boards. It's smothered by netminder Studnicka. And a face-off in the Flyer zone. It's going to be Muskie's at the side of the net, and that's a shot that's wide. I don't have that player's number. 58. I'll have to try to find out who that is. Puck loose in the Xavier zone to our right now. It kicks free to center. Picking it up, Big Ted Stuber. Stuber is checked at the blue line. Now there's a shot by Rutherford, and it's broken up before it came on net. Loose puck after it for the Flyers was Bobby Bradley. Bradley behind his own cage. He's being shadowed there by Nolan Burns of Xavier. Burns kicks it free. Flyers try to intercept it. It comes free to center ice to Rob Brosnia. Brosnia drops it in the Dayton zone. Back to get it. Rutherford. And he's tripped up and goes down. Loose puck in front. Penalty coming up. It's going to be a trip against the Musketeers. That is going to be Kevin Randall, number 26 on the Muskies. Randall heads off on a tripping minor. As he tripped up, it was Brett Smith, not Tom Gillespie. Brett Smith that got tripped up. Power play for the Flyers, leading it already 4-1. Centering pass is deflected away by the Muskies' Matt Mann. M-A-H-O-N, Matthew Mann. Flyers still have it. To Stelk. A shot by Declan Ployce off a skate boot of one of the Muskies. Very hard. That didn't feel good, I'm sure. Here's Ployce back in the Muskie zone. Ployce trying to move behind the net. Now centers a shot. And Kozłowski, a great save. Flyers nearly cashing in on the power play. They have 1:10 to go in the man advantage. There's a shot the other way off the stick of Rob Broznia. And Studnicka the save. Broznia is spelled BrozYna. Hoping that I'm pronouncing that correctly. Broznia. 16:07 left in the second. 1:06 left in the Dayton power play. Here's Aiden Ward taking the draw for Dayton. He wins the draw. Flyers. Brett Smith has it. Smith now up for Ward. Ward's pass deflected away. Picked up for the Flyers by Kevin Bora. Bora behind the Muskie net. Drops it off. Puck centered for Ward. It's off his skate to the corner. Ward being checked by Rapini. Rapini trying to steal it. Ward and Rapini fighting for it in the corner. Now behind the Xavier net. Back to the point. Martini. Brett Smith. His pass deflects behind the cage. 25 seconds left in the Dayton power play chance. There's Brett Smith. Right points. Moving in. Behind the net. Brett Smith drops it off. DeLeo at the right point. 10 seconds left in the power play. DeLeo, right point. Back over for Brett Smith. They got to pull the triggers. A shot. Stick save. Rebound behind the net. Power play is finished for the Flyers. Here's DeLeo. DeLeo shot wide of the near posts. The Flyers have scored 2 power plays. Here's Studnicka out of the net to clear the puck to center ice. Picking up the puck is Kevin Howells of Xavier. He's checked off the puck. Brett Smith. Pass to the center red line. Deflected away by Broznia. Stolen back by Brett Smith. Shooting, and the save is made by Kozłowski. Kozłowski coming into the game 0-2 by way of a record at 1084 goals against and an 833 save percentage. From the face-off, Declan Ployce. Ployce being checked by Nolan Burns. And also Tim Saunders of Xavier. Burns comes away with it. Burns, number 73. He's bumped off the puck. Loose puck, Colin Mahalik into the Dayton zone. Fires, pad save. Flyers in their own zone, now leading it 4-1. Declan Ployce bangs it off the far boards to center. Played by Broznia. He dumps back in the Dayton zone. Played for the Flyers by Oscar Thorson, number 23. Thorson's pass off the dasher to center. Dumped back in the Dayton zone by Broznia. Flyers have it. Number 29. And I don't know whose number 29 is. 29, I'll try to find out. He lost it to Broznia. And there is a whistle and a stoppage of play. I'm going to try to find out who's 29. Hold on a second, folks. Nick Lapari is number 29 tonight. Loose puck at center. Flyers have it. Back they come. There was John Yasenik. He dumped it in the Xavier zone. Puck chipped ahead now by Costel. Muskie's trying to get it out. It's off the skate boot of Flyer Connor Constable. Constable moves in the slot. Shot. Save. Puck still loose in the Xavier zone. Pichetti couldn't get a stick on it. Yasenik drops it to the corner. It's centered, but then intercepted and cleared away, and that's an icing violation on Xavier. 12 minutes left in the second period. Brett Smith drops it off. There's a shot. Save. Rebound. And the net comes loose as Kozlowski dives out of the crease to cover the puck. Well, at least for Xavier, the game has settled down. They've stopped the bleeding, per se, as the Flyers a deluge of 4 goals in that first period. Smith a shot, and it's off a skate wide. DeLeo after it, Farbors. Now Yasenik. Yasenik fighting for it with Burns. Here's John Yasenik. Now, actually, that is 13, not number 3. That's Sully Clark. Chips it in front. Martini scores! Anthony Martini! And the Flyers lead it 5-1. Sully Clark chops the puck in front. Martini there right in front of Kozlowski for a tip. And the Dayton Flyers having a game of the season tonight so far, leading at 5-1. Sam D'Antonio after it for the Muskies. His pass for Mahalik off a stick, now carried into the Dayton zone by Randall. Here's Randall behind the net. He tries to pass to the left wing circle. It deflects back behind the Dayton net. Here's Randall. Kevin Randall, he's tied up and hits the ice. Flyers come back the other way. There's a sidestep pass in front for Rutherford, and couldn't quite get a tip on another shot in front. Stick save made by Kozlowski. Rebound clear. Back was Ployce for Dayton. Declan Ployce. He hits Oscar Thorson into the Muskie zone. Centering pass in front. And that's broken up with now these guys change numbers. That's Bora. Bora was trying to get a stick on it. Here's Declan Ployce. Ployce. Pass, top of the slot, but a whistle, and we've got a tripping penalty coming up against the Xavier Musketeers. With 9:57 to play in the period, that is going to be Muskie Matt Rapini, a forward out of Unionville, Connecticut. Heading off on the penalty. Aiden Ward takes the face-off for Dayton against Matt Mann of Xavier. Mann wins the draw and clears the puck. Studnicka will set it up there for Brett Smith. Brett Smith changes direction to try to shake off Matt Mann. Puck carried in the Muskie zone. Here's a shot by Ward, and it's just wide. And Kozlowski may have gotten a pad on that one. Here's Brett Smith to the right wing circle for Bora. Shot. And that's off the shoulder of Kozlowski. Flyers still have it. Bora. Checked. Puck held in by Brett Smith. Right wing circle, Martini. Anthony Martini. Centers for Ward. Aiden Ward, right wing circle. Back for Smith, holding it in at the right point. Smith at the blue line. Chops it over to the left wing. There's a shot. That's wide. Flyers unable to hold it in. They've got a minute left in the power play. Martini. Pass at center now, DeLeo. Over the Xavier line, and he's tied up by two Muskies and hits the ice. DeLeo gets it back for Smith. Wrist shot, save, rebound in front, and they score! Power play goal on the rebound. I think it was Martini. Shot by Brett Smith. Initial save by Kozlowski. Martini taps it in. And the Flyers lead it 6-1 on their third power play goal of the game. Lynn Bates says yes, and you got it right. That is a big yes, Lynn. Oh, it's great to see the crowd here and the home team pouring it on. It's great to see tonight. Flyers now up 6-1. At center ice, they face off by Kostelk. Puck stripped away by the Muskies. The Flyers get it right back. Now at center, it's stolen away by Eric Pereira. Pereira reaching out, coming into the Dayton zone. Left wing, his shot is blocked by Declan Ployce. Flyers start back. Long pass at center for Constable. Gets through him back behind the Xavier net. Kostelk bumped off the puck. Muskie's unable to clear it, but there's a whistle as Bradley picked up the puck. We've got a hooking minor coming up. Musketeer Sam D'Antonio went down, and it's going to be Flyer. Who is that? So that is going to be Flyer Connor Constable, who goes to the penalty box for hooking as D'Antonio went down. 2-minute power play for Xavier, trailing at 6-1. There's Russo. Drops it behind the net. Russo for Xavier. Fighting for it with Aiden Ward. Puck kicks free now to Colin Mahalik. Drops it back to the point for Tim Saunders, but it gets past him to center ice. Saunders loses it right in front of his own net, but now the Muskies come back with it. Picking it up is James Raffoni. His centering pass is broken up. Puck now played by Dylan Russo. Centers. Studnicka was down. Flyers come back. Ployce slides the puck to center. It's chopped ahead for the Muskies by James Raffoni. Side of the net, centering pass in front. And we've got a save made by Studnicka. He'll cover it. Xavier on a power play for another 58 seconds. From the draw, puck behind the Dayton net. Muskie's on a man advantage. D'Antonio to Howes. Howes centers. A shot. Pad save. Rebound. Pad save. And out to cover it is Jack Studnicka. A little bit of pushing and shoving at the Dayton net. But Studnicka keeps the puck out. Net may have come loose. Referee Schreiner having a word with netminder Studnicka. There's Nolan Burns taking the draw for Xavier. Trying to chase it down. Kevin Howes, he's tripped up and hits the ice. Another Muskie player goes down. From the left wing circle, a shot by Sam D'Antonio, and he's holding his head with his hands, saying he can't believe that didn't go in. Hard shot by D'Antonio, whistling toward the corner of the net, but it's speared out of the air by Studnicka. Great save by Jack Studnicka. And D'Antonio couldn't believe it. He thought that puck was ticketed for the upper corner of the Flyer net. 15 seconds left in the Xavier power play. Here they come for another rush, but it's broken up there by Brett Smith. Penalty's going to be killed off. Here's Kevin Howes trying to center the puck for teammate. And I'm going to have to find out who that player is on Xavier. There's D'Antonio shoving one of the Flyer players away from the puck behind the Xavier net. Flyers still have it. Now it's stripped away, and here come the Muskies. Matt Mann. Pass for Howes into the Dayton zone. Kevin Howes, a shot. Save. Rebound. Chopped at by Matt Mann, but unable to get it on net. Here's Andy Monroe. Dumps it in the Dayton zone. Flyers will play the puck. Now it's lost to Andy Monroe back into the Dayton zone. His shot, and that's gloved by Studnicka. Jack Studnicka, particularly sharp tonight. Let's see, we got messages. Luis Sclafani cheering from Chicago. Great goal, Martini. Thanks, Luis. Steve Bradley says, hi, Kent. Just heard you say Nick Lapari's name. Here's a nugget for you. Dayton seniors Bobby Bradley, Nick Lapari, Ryan Briggs all played on the same travel team, the Parenton, New York Blades. Thank you very much, Steve. That's great that those guys get to play college hockey together. Thanks for that tidbit of information. That's fun to know. So there's Matt Mann for Xavier behind the net for James Raffoni. He centers. It's deflected back to the corner. Flyers trying to play it. Back the other way is Rutherford. Tom Rutherford, ridden into the boards there by James Raffoni. Loose puck far corner, Dayton zone. Muskies start back. Here's Dylan Russo pulling the trigger, and a save made, and just missing a tip in on a rebound was Raffoni. He had a tip in, but it was just behind him. Now the other way, the Flyers. As we've had a goalie change, there's a loose puck right in front. Martini, a shot! And it deflects behind the net. Whistle. And there's a goaltender change I just noticed for Xavier. Now in net for Xavier is Adam Goad. That's G-O-A-D, Goad. From Hudson, Ohio. His record as a goalie, 0-6 with a 740 goals against, a 703 save percentage. So Adam Goad in relief of Reed Kozlowski. 3:50 to go in the period. Loose puck kick free at center. Give and go now for Eric Piera, but he's checked into the boards by Bradley. Martini shoots the puck into the opposite corner. There's a big hit. A couple of players go down behind the Dayton net. Picking the puck up, Kevin Howes a shot. It pings off the goalpost. We've got a delayed penalty coming up on Dayton. And as soon as the Flyers play the puck, the holding minor is going to be called on UD. Let's see who the penalized player is going to be. Looks like it is okay, and that is going to be Tom Gillespie. Tom Gillespie penalty for holding. So the Muskies, a much needed power play for them as they're trailing at 6-1. Nolan Burns will take the face-off for Xavier, and it looks like it's against Joe Costelk. Costelk wins the draw. Bradley behind the net, trying to rim it around. He does down the ice. Goad out of the net. Again, Goad spelled Goad. The relief goalie for Xavier. He sometimes plays forward for the Muskies. Here's D'Antonio into the Dayton zone. Has the puck checked off. There's a shot by that mysterious number 58. I've got to get his name. There's a shot. Save Studnicka. That was off the stick of D'Antonio. And the Flyers clear it. All the way on net at the other end, Goad will cover it up as teammate Saunders makes sure that no Flyers get in harm's way. Clock stopped with 2:19 to go in the second, 1:10 left in the Xavier power play. Kevin Bora taking the draw for Dayton against, it looks like, Kevin Howes. No, I'm sorry, that was Matt Mann. Mann wins the faceoff. And Mann spelled Mahon. There's Dylan Russo for Xavier into the Dayton zone. Russo on left wing. Drop pass. Pereira drops it back to the right point for Raffoni, but couldn't hold it in. Muskies have to circle back. Here's Eric Pereira for Russo. Dylan Russo trying to get around Ployce. Ployce takes him down. Flyers clear the puck. Half a minute left in the penalty, and with Flyer Kevin Bora bearing down on him, Adam Goad will cover the puck. He's out of his crease to lunge on the puck because Kevin Bora was about ready to try to get a shorthanded goal. 25 seconds left in the Xavier power play, but the face-off in their end, Spencer DeLeo for Dayton, winning the draw, and a shot from his own face-off, just wide of the far post. Here's DeLeo again, trying to a spin move around the Muskies, but the Muskies come away with it. Here is James Raffoni. Off the stick of Rapini, back down behind the Dayton net. Penalty killed off, back to full strength. Here's a shot for the Muskies is blocked wide. Puck fought for right along the Dayton blue line. Coming away with it for the Flyers is Piketty. And a pass hits Xavier's Dylan Russo. Flyers still have it. Under a minute to go in the period. There's Bobby Bradley, left point. His pass intercepted, but Bradley will dump it right back in. Flyers now can attack back with a half a minute to go. Flyers changing. Bradley will dump it in from center ice. 20 seconds left in the period. There are the Muskies at center. It's Kevin Randall. He lost it. Now Nolan Burns will dump in. And it's up over, in fact, it's covered by Studnicka. We're down to just 5 seconds left in the period, or 9 seconds left in the period. Face off in the Dayton zone to our left. Aiden Ward will take the draw against Nolan Burns. From the face off, puck brought back to the point. They need to put the puck on net if they're going to try to score. There's a centering pass broken up by Studnicka, and the period will die off behind the Dayton net. So another good period for the Flyers. A couple of goals scored by Anthony Martini. And after that, the Muskies feel shaken, not stirred, maybe. As after 2 periods of play, the Dayton Flyers lead the Xavier Musketeers by a score of 6-1. We do not have shots on goal since we were unable to cover that first period. But I'm sure the shots are favoring Dayton pretty readily at this point. So we will step aside. Hey, everybody. So I believe they're going to resurface the ice. No movement as yet. In fact, the officials are still on the ice. Now they're going to open the doors and get the Zamboni out there. My great nephews are very excited about that. I'll give a shout out to everybody, the Josh and Samantha King family here today. My nephew, Josh King, and his wife, Samantha, and their kids, Kai and Jacob. And I don't know if Ellie is here or not, their daughter. But I can hear, I think it's Kai or Jacob, but they love the Zamboni. In fact, they were here at last Saturday night's game, my great nephews, and they got the Zamboni driver's autograph. And so they get a big kick out of the Zamboni, and so they got the driver's autograph last week. I think it's fantastic. So it's nice to see them here tonight again. The Josh King family from Huber Heights. And you can probably hear him screaming, Zamboni. You might even be able to hear him. But okay, so we're back out. Let's see here, folks. I'll recap things a little bit. Again, what we can. In fact, hold on. I need to get one of the Xavier uniform number, one of their player numbers, their name, number 58. I don't know who that is. So stand by, folks. Let me try to do that. Hey, we got some excitement. That would have spiced up the broadcast a little bit if I go flying over the edge. Yeah, I'm tripping over myself here. I found Adam Doty, or Dady, I'm sorry. Adam Dady, Dady. He was on there as number 98, but he's actually number 58. So, I'll change that. And it's 55. Okay, it's 58. Okay, so let's review the goal scores. We don't have the assists, unfortunately, but the goal scores. First period for Dayton, it was Mark Piketty scoring, and then for the Flyers, Ted Stuber, who we spoke to. He was our player of the game last Saturday night, and it was great to talk to Ted. We had a really nice interview with him. We hope to talk to somebody tonight again after the game. And then Spencer DeLeo scored a power play goal. And then Mark Piketty, his second of the game, a power play goal. And for Xavier in that first period, Colin Mahalik, and that's spelled Michalik, Mahalik. He scored. That was his first goal of the season. And so after one period, it was 4-1 Dayton. And in the second period, it was Anthony Martini with 2 goals, one of them a power play goal. And so after 2 periods, the Flyers lead it 6-1. And let's take a look at the Flyer schedule the rest of the way. Here, hold on, folks. I am going to try to let you know what's coming up. As we're winding things down, folks, it's hard to believe. Next Friday night at 6:30, we're going to be here against the Indiana Hoosiers. So that's next Friday night at 6:30. And I feel pretty confident about that start time because the high school game in this instance comes after the UD game. So if there's any time change, it would come to the high school game. It would not. I think the 6:30 start time next Friday night should be firm. So and we plan on being here with you again. And then, my goodness gracious, the 4th, that must be a Saturday. So it's hard to believe there's just 2 games left. My goodness gracious. Yeah, and then Saturday night, the 4th, will be against the Denison. Saturday evening at 6:30 on February 4th. That'll be senior night. And what I'm hoping, Jeff, you weren't here last year for senior night. Cherie did it. And I'll ask Tony if he wants me to do this again because it worked out real well. They had me do the public address plus this. And I announced the players. They had some of their family here. They took pictures. That was on senior night last year. So I hope we do that again. So that was fun. So that's on February 4th at 6:30 is Saturday evening. And again, that time should be firm since it's early. So, and that's it. So just 2 games left. That's so hard to believe. But so just 2 more Flyer games after this one, folks. And I got a message from Louise Sclafani. She just says, Kent, yes. Louise, what were you going to say? You are correct, madam. And that's Louise Sclafani. She's the one that gave me that pizza. Remember that the frozen Chicago pizza? They're from Chicago. And they brought that to me. But Louise, um, let me know if you were going to say anything else. um, Steve Bradley says, Kent, you mentioned being a big fan of the Big Red Machine last week. I was born in 65. And Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, Tony Perez, all those guys, Foster, Concepcion, Geronimo, all of them. And later, Tom Seaver was a big favorite of mine. Yeah. So I was 10, 11 years old when they won the World Series back in 75 and 6. So you can imagine being a kid from here, southwestern Ohio. They were deities back then around here. And he says, did you have a favorite player? You were a catcher, so a Johnny Bench guy. I was a Pete Rose guy. Of course, we all loved Bench, Morgan, Perez, all those guys, and all of us school kids, we all loved. Everybody had their favorites. You know, somebody was a Tony Perez guy. Somebody loved Joe Morgan with the arm flap, and a lot of Johnny Bench people. He was hugely popular, and Pete Rose, the team captain, and Charlie Hustle. He was a big favorite. He was a big favorite of mine. In fact, you guys may have heard of the Xenia tornado, which was in 1974. And I grew up in Beaver Creek Township, which was just outside of Xenia. And after school, I was outside in the front yard doing Pete Rose dives. We had a big front yard, about an acre and a half front yard, and I was running around diving like Pete Rose. When in 4:30 in the afternoon, my mom called me in and said, "We're going to the basement," and that big tornado hit our hometown of Xenia, but it didn't hit our township outside of the town. But that's what a big fan of Pete Rose was. I was out there doing that, but yeah. So I was a big Pete Rose guy, but then I was a little league pitcher, Steve. So in June of 1977, they acquired Tom Seaver from the New York Mets, and Tom Terrific became my favorite instantly because I was a pitcher, and for the Reds to get a pitcher of that caliber, that was huge. And Tom was with the Reds for 5.5 years, and he was a big, big, big favorite of mine. In fact, I have a uniform. I was able to order a Tom Seaver Reds uniform top several years ago, and I got one of his, and I have Johnny Bench's, and I have Pete Rose's. I have those three made in it's the Cooperstown collection. I got from, I forget what website ordered it, but they're made the same style as the Reds uniforms back then, and they had the great big red letters and numbers on back. You know, most teams have just the little letters for the player name on back. Well, the Reds were one of just a few teams that had great big letters on back, arched on back, and I had those. So yeah, great. I could go on about that team if you wanted to talk old time baseball. I could talk for hours. But yeah, great. Thanks, Steve, for bringing that up. Got a message again from Louise Sclafani. She says, "Yes, Kent, we have a program for you for senior night." Oh, great. That is fantastic, Louise. I'm glad to hear that. Looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the end of the season, though. My goodness gracious. 2 games left, Jeff. 2 games. I can't believe it. But at least, man, I'm just glad we're having a good game tonight. It's too bad we weren't here for the whole thing, but it is what it is. At least, hopefully, the Flyers will have an exciting third period, and we'll hopefully pile on a couple more goals. Would be fantastic. But Louise says the Indiana University schedule may have been changed for next weekend. Away Friday, home Saturday. And that's nice to know. I'm going by the Twitter schedule, which apparently hasn't changed. So we'll find that out. So, folks, thanks, Louise. It helps now that we won't show up Friday, Jeff, and nobody be here. We could set it up. We could have called open skate. Parents now that are watching, if they want to watch the game, they need to hold shit. So In other words, forget everything I said earlier. Disregard that. Luis says the game is Saturday at a time to be announced because, Louise, if you know what the time is supposed to be Saturday, let us know. Away Friday, home Saturday. We'll make sure you have an update. Thanks, Louise. Thank you very much. I'm glad we know that now. I'm glad we didn't find that out on Friday night. Well, I guess at least if we'd have shown up Friday night, nobody'd be here. At least we could have come Saturday and it'd be okay. At least it wasn't the other way around. So. All right, folks. Well, thanks, Louise. And thanks, Steve, everybody. Lynn Bates, Patty Ployce. We heard from Patty earlier. It's so nice. Corinne Piketty, heard from her earlier. Just so nice to correspond with you folks. And yeah, sad that the season's winding down. Holy Toledo. But so I guess we're home Saturday night. So stay tuned for further updates. All right, everybody. Let's hope the Flyers can have a great third period and hopefully make some more memories tonight because these type of games haven't happened for the Flyers. So it's really great to have one that's one-sided in the Flyers' favor. It's great. Here's Piketty, who scored twice tonight. He lost it. There's a centering pass by the Muskies. They were unable to get a shot on. Now for the Flyers, there's Yasenic, clears the puck to neutral ice. Now back is Saunders into his own zone. He's checked into the boards. Centering pass in front, and they score! Joe Kostelk. Back door. He was waiting. He got the pass, and he was able to slam it in as Goad had to cover that far post. And the Flyers lead it now 7-1. As they're having the game of their season tonight. Back for the Muskies is Sam D'Antonio. He's checked. That mysterious number 58 turns out to be Adam Dady. That's D-A-D-Y, Dady. There's a shot for the Muskies by Kevin House. He scores as he moved in all alone on Studnicka. That was a great goal for the Muskies. Kevin Howes, and that's spelled H-A or H-O-W-S-E. So a pair of number 11 score in this period. Kostelk for Dayton and House for Xavier. Pereira dumps it in the Dayton zone. 7-2 now the score in favor of the Flyers. Flyers start back. There's a big check by House on Rutherford, or on Smith, rather. Smith wanted a call, but nothing called. Bradley unable to hold it in. He dumps it in offside. Muskies come back. Pass at center intercepted by Bobby Bradley, Flyer team captain, into the Muskie zone. Behind the net, trying to backhand it in front. And it's off a stick back behind the cage. House for Xavier, flips it down the ice to center. Picked up by Brett Smith. Smith fighting with Eric Pereira for it. Smith ridden into the boards by Pereira. Flyers able to clear the puck out. It's a foot race down the ice. Martini and Matt Rapini Martini behind the Muskie cage. He's got DeLeo in front and a pass for him off his stick. DeLeo behind the net, wraps it around to the left point for Declan Ployce. Shakes off a check, flips the puck behind the cage, deflects to the far boards for Kevin Randall of Xavier. Randall rims it around, but the Xavier net comes off its mooring, and we're going to have a face-off. 17:24 left in the game, 7-2 in favor of Dayton. They led 4-1 after one and 6-1 after two, and both teams have netted a goal this period. Face off in the Xavier zone. Flyers win it, wind up a blast is by Oscar Thorson is blocked wide. And a loose puck at the other end. Muskie's a shot. Pad save by Studnicka on Nolan Burns, who had a clearing on right wing. Martini and Burns fight for it. There's a shot by Xavier's Matt Rapini that's wide. Puck chucked behind the net for Burns. Burns, pass intercepted. Here come the Flyers the other way. Into the Muskie zone. That is number 13, and I don't have a 13. No, it's Sully Clark. I'm sorry, Sully Clark for DeLeo. Pass off a stick to the near corner. Declan Ployce trying to hold the puck in. He sends it behind the net for Rutherford. He couldn't catch up to it. And the Muskies get it out. Declan Ployce will play it. Back now for Mark Piketty for Rutherford. Rutherford has it stripped off of his stick. Xavier plays it back into their own end. Pass at center, and then we've got a whistle, and we're going to have a penalty. A penalty, or what happened? Yeah. And it's Dayton's Tom Rutherford. Is he going off? No. What happened there, folks? Referee Schreiner at the box. Now it's going to be Mark Piketty, number 44, Mark Piketty, going off for 2 minutes. So Xavier on a power play, trailing 7-2. There is Dylan Russo, pass behind the net, now off to the far side. James Raffoni lost it to center. That's something that is a no-no. Pulls time on your own power play. Now the puck stripped away by Bora. Shot, pad save, another shot, save made by Goad. Flyers almost scoring shorthanded. Now back is Dylan Russo for the Muskies. Chases the puck down behind the net. Drops it back to the point for Saunders. Saunders taken down by Bora. There's a shot. Save. Dylan Russo gets it back. Russo hits the ice in the corner. Puck held in by Saunders for Mahalik. Puck in front, a shot by Russo, and it's turned away by Studnicka, and then a whistle. And referee Jeremy Lee. What? Oh, the Reed's back in? Yeah. Oh, thanks. Okay. So I'm told by one of the Xavier contingent that Reed Kozlowski is back in net for the Muskies. So he started the game, went out, and Adam Goad took his place, but then Kozlowski is back in. Kozakowski, I beg your pardon. I've been mispronouncing his name all evening. Face off in the Dayton zone. Again, Xavier on a power play for another minute. Puck shot to the left point, unable to hold it in was D'Antonio. Now foot race down the ice as Bora and D'Antonio wipe out in the far corner of the Xavier zone. Bora behind the net, now return pass for Bora, and he couldn't get a tip on it right in front. Now played by Dady. Pass at center for Burns. Burns back for Dady. Dady lost it to the Flyers' Constable. He dumps in the Xavier zone, played by Nolan Burns. Burns for Dady. Dady passed, but somebody lost their stick. Loose stick on the ice. Boyce drops it back in his own zone for Brett Smith. Under 14 to go in the game. Long pass down the ice, gets through everybody. It's icing on Dayton. Face off all the way back in the Dayton zone. Let's see if we got some more messages. A no game audio. Uh-oh. Can you hear it, Jeff? Okay. Okay, let us know, folks, if you're still having trouble. Well, hopefully the audio's okay, folks. Well, I'm talking to myself up here. So let us know in the chat if your audio's okay. Puck loose at center ice. Flyers come back. There's a shot. Pad save. Rebound. Pad save. Rebound still loose. Ployce trying to hold it in, trying to fight off Everard of Xavier. Puck shot behind the Xavier net. Penalty killed off. Here is Declan Ployce. He drops it in the corner. Back for Kostelk. His return pass intercepted by Rob Brosniak. He's unable to clear it. Flyers still have it. Kostelk then has it stripped away. Muskie is unable to get a rush going back to the Dayton zone. Here's Kostelk back into the Muskie zone. 1-on-3, working in front, and a pad save by Kozakowski. Great save. Great stick work by Kostelk to work right in front between three Muskie players, and he got a shot away. And Kozakowski had both leg pads flat down on the ice, and that kept the puck out. Flyers again. Aiden Ward a shot, and he hammers one wide. Here's a pass for Raffoni right in front, and a save made by Studnicka. He robs James Raffoni. Flyers back. There's a shot wide. Flyers play it at center ice. Drop pass now for Nick Lipari, and a shot on net. And the save is made by Kozakowski. That was a shot by Nick Lipari, who's wearing uniform number 29. He's usually number 2. Okay, on ice audio, Plum says it's a no-go. Sounds good in Chicago, Kent. Jim Boris says I have audio. Maybe he's talking about the ambiance, the sound on the ice, which I think that might, it's been a little bit low all season long as far as hearing the sounds on the ice. Here's a shot by Kevin House that's off a stick wide. Flyers trying to come back. And puck stolen away by Eric Pereira. Pereira drops it back. Return back to Pereira, left wing circle. Pereira gets a shot away. Pad save made by Studnicka from the rebound, Spencer DeLeo of Dayton. DeLeo works around Kevin House. Tries a stick handle to neutral ice. Here comes Spencer DeLeo. Over the Xavier line. DeLeo drops it back behind the net. Now back to DeLeo. Now back to Bradley. His shot is high and wide. From the end boards, his shot is deflected wide. Martini had it. He's hook checked away before he could get a shot off. There is a delayed whistle. We're going to have a slashing penalty coming up against, I believe, Kevin House. And House spelled Howse, so it might be pronounced House. House or House. We got Steve Bradley saying, coming through loud and clear. Shout out to Jeff, the live stream unsung hero. You got that, Jeff? Plum's sound on the ice was excellent last night. Okay. Well, that wasn't us. that must have been Xavier's stream, Plum, as we did not carry the game down in Cincinnati last night. But yeah, here is Rutherford. He's poke checked. Here come the Muskies the other way. It's Dylan Russo pulling the trigger shot, and save made by Studnicka. Back come the Flyers the other way. Here's Stuber into the Xavier zone. Drops it off for Rutherford. His shot wide. Bradley. Right wing. Shot right on. And the save made by Reed Kozakowski. I'll get it right eventually. Kozakowski. That name is spelled Kosolowski. Reed Kozakowski. He's a part-time goalie, part-time forward for these Muskies. From the draw in the Muskie zone. There's a shot by Paquette, and it's blocked wide. Now here's Kostelk near corner. Kostelk, shot, and the save made by Kozakowski. He'll hold on to it. Patty Ployce says, now we can hear audio in the rink. That's good. Okay. Face off in the Musketeer zone to our left. Here's Joe Kostelk. Kostelk behind the Muskie cage. On right wing. Kostelk, top of the slot, shot, and that's gloved by Kozakowski. Number 16. Oh, it's Gillespie. Okay. So 46 seconds left in the Xavier penalty. Flyers leading it 7-2, trying to add on with the power play. Paquette behind the net, wrapping it around for Gillespie. Back to Paquette. Pass behind him. Loose puck played by Andy Monroe of Xavier, who can't get it out, though. Flyers hold it in. 20 seconds left in the Flyer power play. Puck stolen away by Dylan Russo, and he'll whistle it back to center. Flyers back on another rush right away. Here's Mark Paquette. Pass in front of shot! Paquette the pass. And there to slam it home is Tom Gillespie. Paquette an assist on that goal. Flyers now lead at 8-2. We've got 6.5 left in the period and in the game. For the Musketeers, Sam D'Antonio gets past Ward to center. D'Antonio over the Dayton line. D'Antonio looking to dish it off. It's off a stick. Played for the Flyers by Nick Lipari. Lipari has it stolen by James Raffoni. Raffoni centers, a tip for Russo. Save made by Studnicka. Here's Rob Brosnia's shot. That's wide. Lining up for a shot. Save made by Studnicka on Rapini. Matt Rapini, a nice hard shot from the top of the slot. That's Studnicka. He has had a whale of a game. And we don't have shots on goal totals tonight because we were unable to cover that first period. But I'm sure that he heavily favors Dayton. Here's Brett Smith. Smith headmans DeLeo. Spencer DeLeo over the Xavier line. Gets around a check, pulls the trigger. And a save made by Kozakowski. Nice stick work by Spencer DeLeo. Spencer DeLeo out of Buffalo, New York, sophomore. We look forward to Spencer being a star player for the Flyers over the next couple of years. Bobby Bradley for Martini. Martini returned pass to Bradley, but he had moved toward the point. Muskies get the puck out of the zone. Here comes big Kevin House the other way. House bumped off the puck as he's sandwiched. Here's Dady a shot, and Studnicka the save. Adam Dady was able to come up with the puck the side of the Dayton net after House had been sandwiched between a couple of Flyers. Puck shot behind the Xavier net to our left. There's a centering pass, and it was behind the intended Flyer, who was Oscar Thorson. Nice to see Oscar playing again. I don't think I've done a game with Oscar in there yet. Down to 6.5 to go in this one. Flyers up 8-2. Flyers in their nice Chapel blue, or also known as Columbia blue sweaters tonight. Here's Kevin Bora. Lost the puck behind the net to D'Antonio. D'Antonio dishes it off, and it's cleared to center by Matt Rapini. There comes Nolan Burns into the Dayton zone. Lost the puck behind him. Flyers play it behind the cage. There's Pichetti. Pichetti trying to shake off Nolan Burns. Pass to center ice. There's a check. Flyers have it. Moving in. Bora shot, and he fires one wide. He hammers one off the boards. Played by Colin Mahalik of Xavier. Back behind the Dayton net at the other end. He's wound up and taken down by a couple of Flyers. Puck shot to center ice. It's loose. The pass intended now for Kevin Randall deflects to the far boards. Here's Randall. He tries to get a shot off in front of the Dayton net, but puck rolled off his stick. Now wiping out at center was D'Antonio. Loose puck. Evan Rogers dumps it in the Dayton zone for Xavier. Under 5 to go in the game. Puck chipped away to center. For the Flyers, here's Tom Rutherford trying to move in. His shot, he scores! Tom Rutherford had his back to the goal. He had tried to move in at the top of the slot. The puck kind of came off his stick, but he was able to get control of the puck on right wing, and he kind of had his back to the net, and he just whirls and slings a wrist shot toward the net, and it goes in. Tom Rutherford gives the Flyers now a 9-2 lead. So big Tom Rutherford. Able to plant one in the net for the Flyers. Now have a 9-2 lead in this one. With a little over 4 minutes to go. There's a puck centered for Costelk. It's off a stick. Flyers have it, a shot, a backhander. And the save made. That shot was by Nick Lapari. And Kozakowski the save. Face off, Xavier zone. Muskies win it. Pereira tries to carry to center, but he's bumped off the puck. Pereira gets it back. Back in his own end. Muskies start out. Puck dumped in. It's wrapped around here to this near side. Now back behind the net. Played for the Flyers to center ice. It's off the stick of Liam McClemens. There's a puck shot toward the Dayton net that's high and wide. Loose puck at center. McClemens into the Xavier zone, a shot, and Liam shoots one wide. Nick Lapari. His shot attempt is blocked, and the puck all the way to the other end. Here's Kevin House, a shot. And that's wide. Spencer DeLeo for Dayton, 3 minutes to play. DeLeo over the Xavier line, and as he tries to move in, the puck comes off his stick, and it's poke checked away by the goalkeeper, Kozakowski. Anthony Martini works around Carson Everard. His shot attempt is on net, but he partially fanned. Martini was looking for a hat trick. Pichetti looking for 1-2. He drops it off to Ward. Now behind the net, Pichetti. Pichetti checked by Everard, but centers, and it deflects to the far boards. Martini a shot, pad save. Martini trying to hold it in. That wasn't Martini, I'm sorry. That was number 16. That's Gillespie. Pass deflects off a Flyer stick, and the Muskies trying to come back. There's Carson Everard, Everard. He's tied up by Gillespie. Everard again checked along the boards. He's trying to wrestle back. Flyers clear the zone. Pichetti will chop it in the Xavier end to our left. 1:40 to go, and what's been a great night for the Flyers. Puck intercepted at center. Trying to move in, all alone, a shot, they score! Big Ted Stuber! Big Teddy! And the Flyers lead it 10-2. Ted Stuber out of Rocky River, Ohio. Anthony Martini for Pichetti. A couple of Flyers that have 2 goals each tonight. Pichetti. Left wing circle. Drops it off. There's a pass in front. And I think Kozakowski has it. Flyers trying to pour on again. This is the first game of the season that the Flyers have had this one-sided lead like this. Their 2 other wins were tightly played affairs. So what a relief to get one tonight and to have it go like this. There's Bobby Bradley trying to get a shot, but it's stripped away. Here comes Dylan Russo moving in. His shot and a save made by Studnicka with under a minute to play. Jack Studnicka gets another great save in before the end of this one. Face off in the Dayton zone, 52 seconds to play. From the draw. Back come the Flyers. Ted Stuber has it poke checked away. Here's James Raffoni into the Dayton zone. He has it checked off of his stick. Here comes Ted Stuber again. We're going to pull the trigger, and that's blocked on defense. Loose puck right in front again. Stuber a shot, and it's blocked. 25 seconds left, and Stuber goes down right in front. Nothing called. And the Muskies have it. They might skate this one out the rest of the way as we're under 10 seconds. Icing waved off. Matt Mann has it for Xavier. Has it taken off of his stick by Martini, and the buzzer sounds the end of this one. As the Dayton Flyers, the game of the year for them. Hey, you guys have a good night. As the Dayton Flyers have the game of the season tonight, winning it by a score of 10-2. How about that? A shame we didn't have the first period, but at least we got the last two. So, have a memorable game for these Flyers. I'm sure this game will be one that, especially the seniors on this team, will would like to replay as often as they can. Bye-bye. Have a good night. This game certainly one that these players are going to remember. Got a message. Steve Bradley, great game, Flyers. These post-game cheesesteaks will taste even better. That's great. We're going to try to talk to a player. Jeff, I don't know if when Tony and them come back, can you let them know we want to talk to somebody? Okay. So we're going to try to talk to one of the Flyer players again here after the game. But we can kind of recap things.
He's going to get somebody.
Oh, thanks. Okay. So we will wait till that the Flyer player that we're going to talk to is ready. Last week, I don't know if you were with us. A lot of you probably were. We did the star of the game or player of the game interview, but I went downstairs right after the game thinking they were going to send somebody right away. So, okay, I'm going to wait till they come out. Because remember last week I was down there for 15 minutes. So instead of having that dead air for 15 minutes, I'm going to wait up here, and as soon as the player shows up down there, I'll hustle down and we'll talk to one of the Flyer players tonight. So let's recap the goal scoring again. We don't have assists, we don't have shots tonight because of the early start that we weren't able to cover that first period. So we don't have assists or shots, but I do have the goals. Since I was here, I was able to record the goals in that first period. Mark Piketty, that was Mark's period. He scored twice. And Ted Stuber scored. And also Spencer DeLeo. Two of those goals were power play goals. For Xavier, their goal in the first period was scored by it was, I don't know, I've got it here somewhere. Here it is. Colin Mahalik. So Mahalik scored for Xavier. So after one, it was 4-1 in favor of Dayton. Second period, that was the period of Anthony Martini, as Anthony got 2 goals, one of them a power play goal. And so after 2 periods of play, it was 6-1 in favor of Dayton. Third period, that was another great period for the Flyers, as scoring for Dayton was Joe Kostelk and also Tom Rutherford, and also Tom Gillespie and Tom Rutherford. I think I've got those guys mixed up. So in the third period, it was Joe Kostelk, Tom Gillespie. Wait a minute. um, Tom Gillespie, Tom Rutherford, and then Ted Stuber. Hey guys, how's it going? You got this Zamboni man's autograph? You got them on camera down there? Can you get them? Oh, it's blocked. What's that? Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay. That sounds good. That's great, you guys. Oh, good. Boy, they had a great game.
Weekend? Looks like next weekend again?
Friday. Well, no, it's going to be Saturday, right? No, it's going to be Saturday, right?
It looks like the 4th, maybe.
They've changed it, so I'll have to let you know.
I put the schedule up, and then the other players come.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on, folks. We're going to have our player of the game stand by. Hey,
Well,
good game.
thank you
How's
very
it
much.
going?
Pretty good. Standing?
Yeah. Go ahead and stand up and stand back there.
Stand up.
Yeah. And I'll stand back here. There we go.
Makes me look extra tall.
Great. And sorry, I don't know my face, but you guys always have helmets on.
Helmets on. I get it.
Okay, folks. Thanks for sticking with us. Our player of the game tonight is Anthony Martini, and it's great to have Anthony with us. He's one of our seniors, and I make I make the terrible joke, which we're all familiar with, the James Bond. You got the 2 goals tonight, so I said the Musketeers were shaken and not stirred. A terrible joke. I'm sorry, that's a groaner. Anthony, thanks for joining us. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from.
So, my name's Anthony Martini. I'm from Madison, New Jersey, North Jersey. And came to Dayton 4 years ago, and it's been a great 4 years ever since.
Now, how did you make your way to the Gem City?
So I actually had a buddy who played U Dayton hockey who was a year older than me, and he said I should check out Dayton, and now I'm here.
Who was that? I don't know if I might remember him.
Kevin Bishop.
Oh, yeah, I remember Kevin Bishop. I've been doing their games for several years now, and I remember Kevin Bishop. Yeah, okay. So that's fantastic. Well, tell me, this season, you've got it's starting to wind down. What are some of your favorite moments or some of your favorite memories of your time here at Dayton?
So we've had some rough patches this season with the winning and the losing, but The team's grown very, very close, and we really love each other. So just hanging out with the boys every day, on and off the ice, is where I've made all my memories. Also, beating Miami was awesome.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was a great game. And uh, this Xavier team last night's game. Of course, we weren't down there, but I heard it was a shootout game, and that isn't that indicative of a lot of your guys' games this season. Is that you're this close?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always fighting. We're fighting, and it's always close. But it seems like more times than not, the other team has gotten the edge on us. But not tonight. We won tonight, so that's always good.
You guys put it really put it to them, and that was
Oh, we
fantastic to see. Well, tell me a little about what your plans are. What are you majoring in at Dayton?
So I'm a communications major, communication management, and I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I know I'm probably gonna go into sales. I'm gonna sell something really expensive.
Because that's big commission, right?
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. Is there any type of sales that you would like to get into,
Yeah, last summer I did an internship doing med device sales at Zimmer Biomet. So I'm looking to stay in that field.
like medical? So,
Yeah, like knee and hip replacement. Yeah.
oh, geez, I've had I've known so many people that he got some. He just heard one of his teammates saying this: "What the best hockey player in the world? Nobody's better." Um, but yeah, I've known so many people that have gotten knee replacements. My goodness gracious! It's like I've had a sister-in-law get a hip replacement. I knew like three. Of course, these people are older, but three people with knee replacements. So I mean, you're going to be you're going to be wealthy.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's definitely the goal.
Um, what's been some of your favorite um, aspects of uh, your experience at University of Dayton in general? The campus life, the social life. How have things been? Kind of what you expected coming from New Jersey to Dayton? I think what is Dayton is a little. Has it been what you expected?
It's exceeded my expectations. The connections I've made with some amazing people are unbelievable. There are so many people that I care about, and so many people that I know care about me too, and have my back always. So, my favorite part about being here in Dayton is all the people, all the great people I've been able to become friends with.
And I'll tell you something. It's interesting, and probably for you, somebody from the East Coast, you don't know much about Dayton. What is it? But I'll tell you what, and you know it now. But this this little area, Dayton, the sports fan base around here is phenomenal. Um, when you think at what the support that the Flyer basketball team, which you're familiar with. I mean, they get 13. They sell out. They sold out all last season. I mean, they get 13,000 a game. And the Dayton Dragons baseball, they hold the record. I don't know if you know this, but they hold the record for the longest streak of sellouts of any professional team in any sport. And it's just like this little area for some reason, just this great sports area. And you probably didn't know that coming to town, though, did you?
No, I didn't, but I found it out here. I mean, even we get people cheering us on, so that's pretty awesome.
Do you get much talk around campus about you guys about the team?
Um, with our friends, yeah, there's a good amount. I mean, we know every single person that's in the stands personally, which is great, and so they're cheering us on pretty hard.
Yeah, you guys get some great crowds. I don't know if you remember. You probably remember. Um, you might, because I think you were probably either a freshman or sophomore, but it was a few years ago. I was doing the game, but I was doing it for DATV, which is the cable access channel. You guys were playing Pittsburgh, and some of these guys, I don't know how this came to mind for them, but all of a sudden I see stuff flying out on the ice. And I'm like, what is this? And it turned out to be a slab of ribs and some frozen shrimp.
I'm well aware.
Now, I think those guys, for one thing, what did they bring that to the rink for?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. We know some crazy people.
And we decided, the cameraman and I decided that maybe they had done some imbibing before the game.
Maybe, maybe.
Well, okay. Well, I'll let you go so you can get dressed and everything. That we appreciate it. We look forward to seeing. Now, there's been some confusion about the schedule for next weekend because the schedule says Friday, but then I got a chat message from one of the parents saying that you guys are going to be here Saturday. Do you know the schedule?
I believe we are home on Friday, away on Saturday.
Okay, because that's what we thought. He thinks we're home Friday and away Saturday. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll try to help you out.
Yeah. And we missed, and you'll find out when you guys if you go to watch the game. We weren't ready. Well, we thought the game was at 9, so we missed the first period. But
It's all right.
at least we got the last two periods. It was great. So yeah, who would have thought? Yeah. So okay, I'll let you go. You got some friends here waiting for you. Hey guys. Okay. So, all right. Thanks a lot. We'll let you go. So, Anthony Martini, our player of the game, 2 goals tonight, helping to lead the Flyers to a 10-2 win over the Xavier Musketeers. Thanks a lot, Anthony, and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, folks, hang on. I'll be back up in just a few minutes for a quick wrap up. Thanks, Anthony. Okay, folks, we're back upstairs. A couple of quick chats that we'll catch up on. Matt Altoff says, "Sorry, Anthony. I'm sure your interview was excellent. I was thoroughly distracted by scantily clad man walking the show." Yeah, those are the players. What happens, folks, is the showers are in the side locker room, the main locker rooms, but the Flyers dress in that what is an auxiliary locker room back in the corner. But there's no shower back there. So they have to shower in the one of the main locker rooms. Then they have to walk back to their dressing room back in the corner. Um, why do they dress back there? I don't know. So they have their own dedicated locker room. Oh, it's their own dedicated locker room. Okay. So that's why they dress back there. So um, Matt put what are those? An angel. And then Luis Sclafani, Tri-State Collegiate Hockey League was home game on Saturday. So we might be here, but Anthony Martini might show up here Friday. Yeah. So, oh my goodness gracious, never a dull moment. Okay, a quick 3 stars and wrap up, folks. I got stopped by Jackson Short's parents downstairs as I was going to come up, and they had a very nice conversation there from Maryland, and they said how much they appreciated watching the games and everything. And Jeff, did you see where Steve Bradley gave you a big shout out earlier? Our camera operator, our producer, engineer, historian, and so let's just do 3 stars are going to be pretty easy at this point because I'm just going to look real quick. It'll be hard to kind of see. We had Mark Pichetti 2 goals, Ted Stuber 2 goals, Anthony Martini 2 goals. So I'm just going to shuffle those guys around. It's potluck. You can just pick a Mark Pichetti and Ted Stuber and Anthony Martini. They're the 3 stars. I'm not going to put them in order because they all got 2 goals tonight, and so they're the 3 stars. The hard hat, let's give it to Jack Studnicka. Again, standing tall in goal tonight, just allowing a couple of goals. Great game for Stud, they call him, and so a great game tonight for the Flyers. And so we look forward to being with you. To be specific, either Friday or Saturday night. So we're gonna nail that down. We'll be here next weekend sometime. So I guess keep in touch with the players. They'll let you know, and I'll have to keep in touch, I guess, with Tony to see for sure exactly what's going on. So at this point, we think Saturday night, right? Is what we think, because what we got that from Louise. So, but we'll find out. So we'll see you next weekend, and appreciate you joining us. So once again, speaking for producer engineer Jeff Duford, my name is Kent Jacobs. Again, reminding you the final score tonight: the Dayton Flyers 10 and the Xavier Musketeers 2. So until next time, good night, everybody, from the Kettering Ice Arena in Kettering, Ohio.